Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Cara Shirley. I am your digital news desk host, and it is Friday. Can we say yay? Finally, Friday is here, and I am excited to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on our website or through our mobile app, we appreciate you. And if you're watching on, say, our YouTube channel or even some of our other social media platforms, don't forget that you can join the conversation here. You can leave your comments, questions, thoughts, concerns, anything like that in the comment section. Love reading them. Toy, yes, it is Friday, 100% Friday. I feel that very much deeply in my soul. If you guys are tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. I do appreciate learning where everybody tunes in from. We have, around here, Forest, Brookhaven, Pearl, but then we also have some people that tune in from California. We've had some from Oregon, all over the place. So let me know where you are watching from today. Before we jump into the news, I want to first take you outside, let you see what we look like over downtown Jackson right now. And this is just a beautiful shot. Beautiful day. We got some good temperatures happening out there. It's still warm. It's still summer, but it's not quite as humid as it has been. We got those big old cotton candy clouds in the sky, a lot of blue skies. And in just a little bit, we're going to look at our forecast. And then don't forget today at 2:30, the First Alert Weather Team will be coming on to give you a look at your forecast and what you can expect here in the next near future and then off over the next few days. Maybe even take a look at your the tropics for you. So make sure you tune in today at 2:30. Pamela Thompson says, good afternoon from Jackson. Hello, Pamela. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the news. First thing that we're going to tell you about right now is a missing person alert that has been issued for a teenager in Brandon. So the Brandon Police Department has issued a missing person alert for 17-year-old Naomi King. And this is Naomi here on your screen. So according to the Brandon Police Department, she was last seen leaving her residence on Apple Ridge Road in Brandon on Thursday around 4:45 p.m. Police department believes that she may have traveled to Kentucky and could still be traveling in an unknown vehicle alone or with an unknown companion. She's described as being 5'3", black hair, brown eyes. She was last seen wearing blue shorts, a multicolored hoodie, and a bright pink bonnet. If you have any information on her whereabouts, please contact the Jackson Police Department. Their phone number is 601-825-7225, or you can contact your local law enforcement agency. Ask you to share this live stream if you know anybody that is in the Kentucky area. Share this with them so that they can keep their eyes out. I understand it's a very big state, lots of places she could be, but if you know anybody in that area, please share this. And if you have any information on the whereabouts of Naomi, Naomi King is her name. This is her picture here on the screen. She's 17 years old, and she was last seen yesterday at 4:45 p.m. That's Thursday, 4:45 p.m. in Brandon. So just keep your eyes open. And if you see anything or hear anything, let the police department know about it. Mary Jones here is tuning in from Pearl. Hello, Miss Mary. Nick saying, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good, Nick. Thank you very much. And Janet Williams tuning in from Jackson. Thank you guys for watching. So you guys know about the Goon Squad. We followed that case here at WLBT from start until finish. Well, we've got some more information to share with you on the Goon Squad. Former Rankin County Sheriff Deputy, who was sentenced to 27 years with the Goon Squad, is now claiming that that sentence is excessive and unreasonable. So his name is Brett McAlpin, and he is appealing his sentence in the Fifth Circuit. So investigators say he's the one who set everything in motion with the Goon Squad when he asked other deputies to investigate a complaint in Braxton in January of 2023. Now, once the other deputies arrived, they sexually assaulted and tortured two black men. While McAlpin did not actively participate, investigators say he was present during much of the assault, and then he played a very active role in covering that assault up. So his attorney argues that McAlpin's sentence does not match those of the other members in the Goon Squad who also pleaded guilty. He got the second longest sentence of the group, and his lawyer is claiming that his lawyer also claims the government enhanced his penalties based upon unproven claims and other cases of possible torture. So we are going to be watching that appeal. We'll find out what happens with it, and we will definitely keep you updated on it. We're continuing to follow him. Danny tuning in from Flowwood. Hello, Danny. Thank you so much for tuning in. Danny, I see where you say that the volume was really low. Can you let me know how it sounds now? Can you hear it? How is it working out for you now? And then Danny says this will be pretty interesting if they try to get further into details. Yes, it will be. So we are going to keep an eye on that sentence. Toy is saying here he's insane, meaning Brett McAlpin. He deserves everything he got and even more, in my honest opinion. So that is what that's where you're at right now. So there is filed an appeal with the Fifth Circuit saying that his charges were, let's see, the words he used, excessive and unreasonable. So we will continue to follow this appeal. Now, a man in Wiggins was sentenced to life for a 2018 murder of his mother, where he also beheaded his mother. So on Thursday, I have his picture pulled up for you here so you can see him. So on Thursday, officials announced that 35-year-old Terrell Johnson, this is him on your screen, of Wiggins, was convicted of first-degree murder by a Stone County jury late Wednesday afternoon for the murder of his mother, Sherry Johnson. So during the two-day trial, the court revisited June 2018 when family members contacted the Stone County Sheriff's Office after going several days without hearing from Sherry. So when the Stone County Sheriff's Department got to her home during their search there, they found the doors to her bedroom locked. They gained entry. They found blood covering the inside, which raised their suspicions. And then later, her body and severed head was found near the back fence. So this gentleman right here, who was her son, Terrell Johnson, he has been sentenced to life in prison for this. And that was, he's going to be serving that in the custody of the Mississippi Department of Corrections. I could not imagine. Thank you, Danny, for letting me know that the volume is okay. But as far as this man goes right here, let me pull him back up on screen so you can see it. He is sentenced to life in prison for the 2018 murder and beheading of his mother. I'm glad that he is going to be spending the rest of his life in jail. So tell me this, how many of you have vehicles? Me, a lot of us do. Most people do, right? Did you know that the little tag or frame that you can get to put around your or your license plate, rather, did you know that it is illegal? If you didn't know that, maybe you want to go out to your car and take it off after the show. Not now. Wait till we're done here. So, Highway Patrol is saying that you could get a ticket for this. So the legislation to ban these frames, the legislation was passed last year and now it is law, says that anything that covers or otherwise obstructs tag information like the expiration date or the county you're in is not permitted, and it could get you in trouble. Officers say frames, many of which advertise car dealerships, colleges, or sports teams, can make it difficult for them to see important information on your vehicle.
There definitely are illegal according to the Mississippi Code 27-19-31, and it stated that license plate, the decal, anything that blocking that's covering the tag is illegal. It's illegal, and it's very important that we see that on the tag or whatever.
So the fines, rather, for violating that ban on a license plate start at $25, and then it can go up considering, or if you get multiple fines for that. Now, looking back here at our Facebook stream here, looking at the comments. Mary Jones saying, "Can't imagine anybody murdering their mother. I would give anything to have my mother still around. She died in 2007. I apologize. I'm so sorry for your loss, Mary. And it is very hard to imagine anybody being able to commit murder, period. But when it comes down to it being your family member or your mother, it is really hard to see that and to try and understand it. Let's see. Joyce Walker is asking, why did he not get the death penalty? Joyce, I'm not sure. We were just told and was reported to us that he was convicted to or sentenced to life in prison in the custody of the Mississippi Department of Corrections. Pamela Stafford saying prayers for the family. They would definitely need it. And then Shabaka, am I saying your name right? Saying Goon Squad appeal. Are they serious? And yes, they are serious. Brett McAlpin has filed an appeal in the Fifth Circuit. Brett McAlpin was the alleged ringleader in the Goon Squad. And he is saying that his sentence is excessive and unreasonable. So he is appealing his sentence to the Fifth Court. So we are going to follow that. Definitely follow that for you. I hear you, Angela. Thank you so much for that. We do appreciate you telling us that, and I will check in with that with our newsroom. So there was a audit done in the city of Jackson. It's a new audit. It's given us a more clear picture of how the city of Jackson's bookkeeping is, or their bookkeeping issues, rather. So the audit covers fiscal year 2022. And was supposed to be completed a year and a half ago. Well, the audit was delayed in part because auditors had trouble getting some needed financial information. The audit agency's report says that the city had multiple deficiencies in 2022, such as holding on to unclaimed funds longer than allowed by the state and not having a mechanism in place to track lease payments that were made to the city. We'll continue to follow any additional information that we get on this audit. That's all that we have right now, but if we get more information, we'll definitely pass it along to you. Now, a couple here in Mississippi has been accused of installing faulty fire equipment in 13 Mississippi counties. So it's a local couple. They've been arrested after being accused of installing faulty and used fire suppression systems in commercial kitchens around the state. The couple, which you can see them right here, Daniel Finnegan and his wife Sherry, they were arrested on Wednesday in their home in Smith County. According to authorities, the fire systems did not work and were not tested before being placed in service. Daniel Finnegan was also tagging fire extinguishers without testing them and was repainting and replacing parts on used fire extinguishers and selling them as new, according to authorities. The business, Finnegan's Fire Safety Equipment, was based in Pelahatchie and was not registered with the Secretary of State. Sold many systems, to get this, to daycares. Sold these faulty systems to daycares and other businesses. While some of those businesses are known, the State Fire Marshal's Office is asking others who bought systems from Finnegan to call 601 359 1061. Again, I'm going to put them up on your screen larger so you can get a better shot of them, better view of them. Also, if you go to WLBT.com, you'll be able to see their mugshots there as well. If you or anybody you know has bought a fire safety equipment or fire suppression system from either one of these, please contact 601 359 1061. So the State Fire Marshal Office will provide resources to those businesses so they can replace these faulty systems with new ones. And the State Fire Marshal's Office says, with assistance from Smith County Sheriff's Office, they served a search warrant on the couple's home in Smith County on Thursday morning. Based on information that was found during that search, more than 50 charges are pending in Adams, Covington, Hines, Jones, Jefferson, Leake, Madison, Newton, Rankin, Warren, Winston, and Yazoo counties, in addition to the charges that they are pending in Smith County. So again, if you or a business that has purchased a fire extinguisher, fire suppression system from this couple right here, please contact the state fire marshal's office at 601 359 1061. Report your experience there. And the state fire marshal's office is providing resources to the businesses that purchase from this couple so that they can replace the faulty systems with some new ones. So, looking here at our looking at our comment section here, a lot of you guys have a lot of big feelings about this. Thank you so much. Michelle Scarborough, there's a guy from Brandon that killed his mom and his dad and was paroled. Wow. I did not know about that. I'll have to look into that. Thank you so much for that information. So, is anybody excited about Top Golf? I've never been to a Top Golf. As a matter of fact, I don't even think before the one was getting built here in Richland that I was really aware of what Top Golf was. I'm not a golf player. My husband was, but I'm not not now. He's not now, and I'm definitely not. But progress is continuing on construction of the new Top Golf facility over in Ridgeland. So, a part of the main building is up now, and the towering nets that contain all the golf balls are in place. Top Golf was going to have 2 floors and 60 all weather golf bays, and it will also include a 9-hole mini golf course, a bar, and a restaurant. It is still set to open sometime in December. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to having more things to do here. Of course, I'm from Meridian. I'm not from Jackson, just here since March. And I still have not been able to discover all of the things to do here before Top Golf comes in. But it's going to be fun to have another thing to add to the list to have to go check out. So over in Ridgeland, staying in Ridgeland, actually, the city of Ridgeland passed an ordinance banning the sale of kratom. So if you are a person that takes kratom, you will no longer be able to purchase it in Ridgeland. So the city passed the ordinance banning the distribution. That banning the distribution, purchase, possession, or sale of kratom, synthetic cocaine, or other synthetic products. So you may remember the Three on Your Side investigation in August of last year about the dangers of this drug. Mayor Gene McGee says police will work with businesses to pull the product from their shelves in about 10 days. If you do violate this ordinance, you could face up to 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine. So watch out for that. If you are in Ridgeland, live in Ridgeland, traveling through Ridgeland, if you take kratom, if you've purchased it, if you have it on you, you don't want to have it in the city limits of Ridgeland. The Medical Cannabis Advisory Committee gathered at the state capitol this week, looking for an update on how the program is working for both patients and businesses. Mississippi is, of course, still new to the cannabis industry, as products have only been sold here in the state for about a year and a half. So there are around 40 mute that. There are around 43,000 patients with cards right now, but only about 40,000 are active. The Mississippi Medical Marijuana Association pointed to data that shows there's an oversaturated market, meaning there's too many businesses and not enough patients to keep them all busy. We spoke with Southern Sky Wellness on what they have noticed since they've been able to sell cannabis here in Mississippi.
We've noticed, however, that the renewal patient numbers have sort of died down a little bit. Not as many people are renewing their cards, which is not the greatest, but we feel that it could be due to the lack of convenience for price when it comes to getting your card.
The advisory committee also heard from an expert on the possible reclassification of cannabis, changing it from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug. It would still be a controlled substance and not legalized. It instead shows a shift in how the federal government sees marijuana risk for abuse and for medicinal purposes. Let's see. Looking here, Jetty Junt says, Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well. I do appreciate it. Let's see, looking here at the other comments. Eugene Crime. Okay. So Jelly Roll says, you do the crime, you do the time. I did mine. No matter who you are, be held accountable for your actions, period, because no one is exempt, even if you are the law. Very true. Very, very true for that. Danny is asking, does that mean cheaper prices for the consumer? Let the big corporations fight it out and we benefit. Danny, I'm not sure if that means cheaper prices for, I'm assuming that you're talking about cannabis and it being legalized here in Mississippi and being sold here in Mississippi. If this means cheaper prices for us, not sure. We're going to continue to follow how the sale of this product tracks here in Mississippi and how it does since it's been legalized, and if there is a change in the schedule of it. Is it going to go from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3? All of that stuff. So we'll continue to follow it and keep you updated on it. So yesterday, Verlicia Gavin, one of our reporters here, actually met with the Better Business Bureau. And the crazy thing is she had met with them to talk about one particular thing. And in that conversation, she discovered another scam that is going on here in Jackson, actually. And the Better Business Bureau is aware and is watching it. So what it is, a fake online retailer is targeting potential victims here in Jackson. It's called Global United Machinery, and they claim to sell tractors here in Jackson, but this business does not actually exist. So the company claims that they have been in operation since 2017 on its website, but its website was only created 2 weeks ago with listings of multiple different tractors for sale at well below market value. Now, according to John O'Hare of the Better Business Bureau, you should consider it a red flag if the price is too low. What do they say? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So if you look up the company online, you're not going to be able to find much about them, and that's probably for a good reason. Also, be wary of anything that says free shipping on large equipment, and consider what options they list for payment. Gift cards or wire transfers in full are common ways that scammers will try to steal your money. So they said that this company, this business says they're here in Jackson. Well, the address that they've listed does not even exist here in Jackson. The business doesn't list is not here in Jackson. They say they've been in operation since 2017, but the website has only been up for 2 weeks, and it's got a lot of 5-star reviews. But the reviews are the same reviews that you can find on other websites that could be potential scams. So let's listen to what the person from the Better Business Bureau has to say about this.
As we started to look into this, we uncovered 16 other companies that all have the same information, same customer testimonials, same low prices on equipment throughout different parts of the United States. And this is a common scam. Everybody's looking at prices these days and trying to let their money stretch it out some. And if you get caught in one of these scams, you'll lose your money.
So to find or report other possible business scams or to find some information on how you can avoid them, you can visit the Better Business Bureau's website and get that information there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather forecast right now. Let's see what we're looking at as far as current temperatures outside right now. Looking a little warmer than yesterday. Yesterday, we were still just about everyone in the mid 80s, mid to upper 80s. And now we got Jackson sitting in at 90 degrees, Lexington 92, Natchez at 91. The rest is in the mid 80s, upper 80s. Well, except for Vicksburg. They're pretty hot over there at 93. If we look at the radar, you're going to see we don't have any rain in the area, and we're not expecting any rain over the next couple of days. Not expecting rain until next week, actually. And that's when temperatures, humidity, and all that fun stuff that we can associate with summer in Mississippi will be returning to us. If we look at our 12-hour forecast, you can see we're going to drop down into the mid-70s overnight, but again, no chance of rain. And if we look at the next 7 days, you can see where those rain chances pick up just a little. Starting next Wednesday, we're looking at 20% chance of rain. Next Thursday, 30% chance of rain. But pretty much the temperatures are creeping on back up there. That humidity level is going to be going back up. It's going to be a little warmer outside. So enjoy these nice days while we can. I don't want to see the heat come back, but it's going to, because we're in Mississippi, right? So I told you guys yesterday about the interview that I'm going to be doing with Chief Joseph Wade next Thursday, actually. It is a one-on-one with him, Q&A session. He's going to be answering some questions that are sent in by you. And how you can send those questions in is by emailing them to askchiefwade@wlbt.com. But first, let me play this video for you. A decorated law enforcement officer, a husband, a father, and now for the past year, he has been the chief of police for Jackson, Mississippi.
I didn't take this job for money, power, ego, or job security.
3 on Your Side takes you behind the scenes as we talk with Chief Wade about his past year. We ask him the hard questions. What has been the hardest moment for you? And we're giving you the opportunity to ask questions too. Join us Thursday, August 29th on WLBT Plus for 1 year in, a live Q&A with Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade. And I am very excited about that happening. It can't happen, though, without you guys sending in your questions. And we have received several of them, but we want as many as we can get. So go ahead and submit those questions to askchiefwade@wlbt.com. Again, that is askchiefwade@wlbt.com. That interview is going to be next week, next Thursday at 1 o'clock, which just so happens to be the actual 1 year anniversary of Chief Wade being confirmed as the police chief for Jackson Police Department. So we're going to talk about what his past year has been like, what is he expecting for the future of Jackson, and he is going to be answering your questions. So make sure you send those in, askchiefwade@wlbt.com. Now, today is August. We're actually getting closer and closer to the end of August, right? Well, did you know that August 30th is Grief Awareness Day? This month is National Grief Awareness Month, and then the 30th is National Grief Awareness Day. I spoke with someone this morning from Singing River Services about grief and Grief Awareness Day and how we can better help ourselves and each other, or those in our lives that are going through grief. Let's go ahead and take a listen now. Well, in case you didn't know, August is National Grief Awareness Month, with August 30th being National Grief Awareness Day. And in honor of that, we are speaking with today Tiffany Baker. She is with Singing River Services, and she is their project director there. Tiffany, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about what Grief Awareness Day is?
Yeah, well, it started back in 2014, and the idea is to raise awareness of how people cope with loss and encourage those dealing with grief to talk about it.
And what it is grief? I mean, I'm sure everyone has experienced it in some way, shape, fashion, or form, but tell us exactly how we can detect grief.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Grief is a normal and healthy response to a great loss in someone's life. Now, it can be because of a loss of a family member or loved one, but it can also be a response to a sudden change or a significant life event. And experiences resulting in grief can impact us emotionally and also physically.
And what are some ways that people can address grief or recognize grief in their life?
In early stages of grief, it can be possible to go ahead and recognize some symptoms of your feelings to go ahead and lead you to ask for help. And so some important tips to keep in mind in the early stages is to reach out to friends and family to let them know how you're feeling. Also, it is important to limit how often you watch the news or jump on social media. It's important to set an easy routine for yourself so that you can follow daily, and don't make it too complicated. Also, avoid making any important life-changing decisions that can make it harder to adjust. Now, if you start dealing with some symptoms of prolonged grief, that's when it's vital to reach out for help. So these can be feelings of intense emotions for a long period of time without any improvement. Also, using drugs or alcohol to cope with feelings or sadness, struggling to keep that daily routine and feeling too overwhelmed to function. Also, watch out if you're isolating yourself from family and friends. And then going back to those physical symptoms, if you start having things like chronic fatigue, headaches, digestive issues, or a lack of sleep, those are all important symptoms to watch out for, and it's time to reach out for help.
And so, how can we better to recognize grief symptoms in those that we love? Let's say there's someone in our life that is dealing with the loss. How can we recognize those symptoms and also help them?
One way is to notice if they start isolating themselves from you. And so if they're really withdrawing, maybe they're not engaging in activities that they normally would, or anything they would find enjoyable. Also, some other symptoms that can't be overlooked: if your loved one starts complaining a lot of headaches, or spending a lot of extra time in the bathroom, or maybe you see irregularity in their sleep patterns, all of that also can come back to grief.
And what are some resources that are available to people to help them deal with grief, specifically here in Mississippi?
Well, Singing River Services uses the Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic model of care. Now, this is a model that provides coordinated, comprehensive, and critical services for mental health and substance use. And we have these all across the state of Mississippi. And so one way to find out what's available in your location is to go to dmh.ms.gov, and you can search certified providers, including those local CCBHCs. That's important because CCBHCs are providing 24/7 access to crisis care. Someone can come out, meet you where you're at the crisis, and help you resolve that situation if that's needed. If you're looking for more of a person-centered approach, or just to sit down with a therapist, they can also do that as well. Another national movement is the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call, text, or chat online just by reaching out to 988. It's available to everyone. And again, it's open 24/7.
Absolutely love those. Thank you so much, Dr. Tiffany Baker, for coming on with us today and talking about grief. Everybody, remember, August 30th is a National Grief Awareness Day. And if you have someone in your life that may be suffering from grief, listen to this again and learn some ways that you can probably help them out. Thank you again, Dr. Baker.
Thank you for having me.
And so that was speaking with Dr. Baker earlier today. I want to point out and remind you of some of the services that she talked about. The National Mental Health Suicide Crisis Hotline is 988. You can text or call that number anytime if you are experiencing any type of mental health crisis, a grief crisis, anything like that. Reach out to them, and don't forget to just reach out to those around you. It's so hard sometimes, especially when you are in the throes in the middle of a deep grief, to reach out and ask for help. But do that. Reach out and ask for help. There are people around you who do love you and will be there to help you out. Miss Jetty is saying here, grief is tough for everyone. Prayers to all that may be grieving. God is the way, He is the remedy. Thank you so much for that. Well, that is going to be the end of a WLBT Plus. I appreciate you guys tuning in today on this Friday. I hope that you all enjoy your weekend. Come back tomorrow. Nope, not tomorrow. Well, you can come back tomorrow because we will still have our newscast here at WLBT. You can watch them on our app. You can watch them live on TV. You can watch them on demand on our app. If you don't get to watch them as the news is happening, you can go back and watch the newscast later. And don't forget also to send in your questions for Chief Wade here. You can submit those questions to askchiefwade@wlbt.com. That live Q&A with him will be next Thursday, the 29th of August at 1 o'clock right here on WLBT Plus. I do hope that you all tune in. And if you have any questions, send those in. askchiefwade@wlbt.com. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe if you're going to be outside. Stay safe if you're going to be inside. No matter where you're at, stay safe and be back with me on Monday at 1 o'clock. Bye, y'all.